Hello and welcome back to Red League, Season 3. This week, in Week 2, we're going to be playing Dams of the World. An interesting map. Before we get into that, quickly update you for Week 1. I lost, of course. Of course, if I had placed my pin in round 1 somewhere in Montevideo or in the surrounding area close by, would have won. If I had just zoomed into Montevideo with about a minute left and probably would have found the district of Peñarol, probably would have got the highest score in the total seed. Enough about that. Alright, Dams of the World. As we did last week, and I'm going to do it this way forever now, in any of the following weeks as well, we're going to talk about the other division seeds here after I've played through my own. There definitely were some interesting seeds in there, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, Dams of the World, an interesting map to play. It's not your usual world map. It adds quite a few extra steps in there that might either help or hinder you, depending on how you play them. A lot of very rural locations, so don't be surprised if you have anything like in extreme outskirts in Thailand somewhere, or a lot of locations in Taiwan, in Japan, lots in Eastern Europe, like Romania, for example, had a lot of them in my practice runs. Spain or Portugal had a lot of them. The US obviously has a couple of dams as well. Canada, I think I've had one or two. Interestingly, I don't think, I might have had one in Brazil, but I don't think I've had any others in South America at all. I've had 2 or 3 in Mexico though. And you know, with dams, the question is always, you're next to a big mass of water. Do you just go onto the map and look for that? It can help in some cases. Obviously, there are also, apart from dams, just some reservoirs and, you know, some locations that are like a small river. And then there's a dam there and the small river continues, and you're probably never going to find that based on that information on the map. But for some of them, it might be worth it to look for it on the map. I think, what have I done it with? I've done it occasionally in practice where I was like, okay, I've got a big lake here and I know roughly where to look, so let's just look for it. Works about 50-50, I'd say. Alright, yeah, let's just, before I do that, actually, let me quickly show you the table. We're currently in 10th. Not a lot has happened yet. Only 1 bonus point for being in the top 50% but still losing to Emna Basin. And this week we're going to be playing against Seppo. It's already a pretty crucial game. Just to hope we don't get relegated. And let's go. Okay. This already first glance looks like it could be the US. Could also be something like Canada. Definitely driving on the right side. There's a mile marker there. Fish Hatchery Sturgeon Center. Exit 40. Bonneville Dam. National Historic Landmark. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell me which state it is. But the Bonneville Dam. Actually, Bonneville. That did have a double L, didn't it? So, wait, was that a sign there? No, imagine it. Oops. It might actually, after we take a look here, I can't tell if that is in miles or kilometers actually, because we might be in Canada, and if we are in Canada, what do we have here? Warrendale, 1 mile. Okay, no, we're definitely in the US. I always have a hard time just with names in the US because they're so all over the place, but Bonneville is a French name. And I was wondering if that might make it easier and sort of limits our search radius a bit. Because based on landscape, I mean, I can, oh god, I can tell you a couple of places where I definitely don't think it is. It's probably not in like Texas or something. Ainsworth State Park. Oregon. Very well. Oregon is a location that I thought could be. On the 30, US Highway 30, which is, where would that be? There's the 20, there's the 30. Also looks like it's not that long. There's Warren. It's not Warrendale though. Columbia River. There's Warrenton, which is quite funny actually. Ainsworth State Park. Can I zoom out and still see that? Where does the 30 even go from here? Goes into Portland and then kind of just stops, doesn't it? Which is interesting. Does it continue anywhere else here? I can't see it continuing anywhere else. You know what we're gonna do here? We're gonna go back. We're gonna try, what is that? Bonneville Dam, National Historic Landmark. Exit 40 actually. That might be interesting. Do we have an exit number here? No, of course we don't. That would be way too easy. Nat Creek Fishery. We're right next to the water though. So it could be up here somewhere. That's way too populated though. Okay, we only got 20 seconds left. So I don't think we're gonna find out exactly where it is. What do we have here? Multnomah County. Wait, Alston. No, wait. Is that a terrible idea? No, it wasn't a terrible idea. It moved us closer. Oh, does the 30 become... Oh, God. Yeah, the 30 becomes the 84 over here. There's the Ainsworth State Park. Slightly unfortunate. There's a Vancouver in the US. In Washington? Okay. Interesting. There's Bonneville. Yeah, it could have gone worse. The Bridge of the Gods. Could have gone worse, could have gone better. Let's hope there's something to make up the point loss here in the following rounds. This is interesting. This is Australia, surely. So definitely something to make up some points if we get lucky. Queenstown, Power Yacht. Queenstown. Queenstown is not in Australia. I don't know if there is a Queenstown in Australia, but the Queenstown I know is here. So we're just gonna keep that in mind. I do want some more confirmation though. Because for some reason it just doesn't really feel like New Zealand yet. That's the Queenstown, what does that say actually? Powered Yacht Club. Okay. Oh, god damn it, just let me go here. Nothing too important. Yeah, just bring me... Let me travel some distance here. Let me find out more. Because I don't really like the feeling this is giving me, this location. It sort of doesn't feel like New Zealand. Lukanji Municipality. Victoria Manor. Welcome to... Okay, this is definitely South Africa. 100%. I don't know where Queenstown, South Africa is. Where it would be. Is Queenstown, South Africa? There it is. Okay. There is Queenstown, South Africa. There's the Bonkolo Dam. It could very well be that. And we sort of went west to get into Queenstown. Welcome to the country municipality. I'd like to find a road or something that, you know, signifies to me, okay, this is definitely the right place. So washed out. That's Livingston something. Does that road have... There's Livingston Street, yes. Could be the Berry Reservoir, actually. Anything else it could be? No, it's definitely the dam. Surely. We're going back here now. Yeah, 100%. Walk around here along the south edge of it. So I think we're in this corner. it does this sort of turn around here that fits perfectly, and we'll place our marker here, make our guess, and we got 5k, so that's decent. Would have been an absolute catastrophe if I went with New Zealand there. That's why we confirm things. Oh god. Oof. Japan. You know, it just sort of adds on interesting things to this seed. Nara and Rindo. The Nara in Okinawa? That's not Nara, that's Naha. There's a Nara here as well. There's Nara. There you go. Rindo. I mean, Nara is just a province. Probably has a city named after it, I would assume. But if it doesn't, you know what? We'll go look for more. I think it was the 569. I'm not 100% sure anymore. Probably should have double checked that. Yeah, it's the 569. Thank you for that random sign by the road. That just came at the perfect time. I just want to see what's in the other direction, because I think Rindo could be something that's quite small. So I'm not confident I can find that in 3 minutes. You know what? Always good in Japan if you're on a smaller road to change the road you're on, just to give you a better chance of finding something else. But I think this might just be a town. You know what? Changing it up. Let's see what's over there. This is a long river, pretty big river, many bridges across it. Let's look at the map. There's this river here that is pretty big. That's the 258, the 224. Nara has many rivers. Can I find a 569 somewhere? It also doesn't necessarily have to be in Nara. Could be just near the border of the prefecture. I just can't find Rindo anywhere. Got 54 seconds. We move back once more and we'll try this way. It's really hard to find things like that in Japan. Okay, there's just a tunnel there. That's not going to help. Could be something like this. There's 569. I don't think it is this exact place. But there's a dam. Is it this dam? I mean, it might as well be. It's not like I have any other options at this point. It was. Whew, a close one. I did find it in the end. Off we go in round 4. Kenya. Okay. We've got the black car in Kenya. Catholic Diocese of Kitui. That is very helpful. That's Kilifi. Kitui is over here. Where exactly? There's Kitui. Okay. P.O. Box just in Kitui. Rehabilitation Center, John Hughes. We've got a small dam here, if you can even call that a dam. What do we have here? I don't think this is Kitui city itself. Honestly, actually, it might be Majengo. That sounds more likely. But find a random city like that in Kenya, near Kitui. It's not the easiest. Is Kitui the name? Yes, it's the name of the county. And the county isn't small. Where could something like Majenga be? Majengo. I think it's not a good idea to continue searching for it any longer. Just one quick look down here. No, there's nothing down there. Alright, let's go a bit further. We've got 2 more minutes to play with. It does look like a relatively big town. County government of Kitui, Intellect College. Was that something interesting? Probably not. There's the Kitui school. I mean, at this point, screw it, I'm zooming in on Kitui. Okay, you know what? Actually going back, because I want to look at this. This is pretty much north-south bridge. The river does go over there. And if I go down here... I like the look of this. What sort of buildings could I find here that would confirm things for me? Battery charging, there's the Oasis trade shop. There's a collection shop. I think we're good here. We go north. Turns around a bit the road and then eventually trails off to the west. Yeah, this is it. 100% confident about that. Yep, 5k and 1 more to go. What do we have here? Oh, more Japan. Always interesting. The tunnel that way, that's not going to help us. Neither is that. As long as it doesn't have even area code or a road number or city names, none of those things will probably help us. What about you? No. Just a display that is currently black. I just hope it's not like, oh, let me go back here. I hope it's not a random island. Central Kutari, Shimizu. 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 Where is Shimizu? I don't remember. I remember it's relatively big. Shizuoka. It's not quite Shimizu. But it's the 274. I can just look for that. It's probably easier. There's the 265. 270. Okay, so it might not be around here. Could it be all the way up in Hokkaido then? I think this starts into some things as well. Actually, what was that? There's the 276. So maybe there's the 274. There's Shimizu. It wasn't as big as I thought it was. Central Kutari on the 718. 718 is here. I think we might be somewhere like here. And the 593 is the other direction, so that is here. And we came from the north of it. Which looks perfectly aligned to this thing here, this place. The Iwamatsu Dam. Let me just quickly double check. Curves around here, goes to the west over there. Wait, let me double check that. Yeah, there's that curve, then it comes over here. Is there that side road? This little thing. Yes. Okay. That is more than good enough then. Click on guess. And there we go. Another 5k. Yeah. Shame about round 1. If I really hate round 1s apparently in this iteration of the Reddit League season 3. Round 1 just doesn't vibe with me. That could have been a 25k game, honestly. Wasn't that difficult of a seed. I just hope that Sebo makes a mistake, probably in one of the Japanese rounds. I don't think he'll mess up the US. That's just reserved for me. But honestly, I think I probably, even if I do lose, I think I should be able to secure a point for getting in the top 50%. I hope, at least. Yeah, 93 kilometers. And I mean, the other rounds weren't easy. I have to say that. I mean, Kenya, I had my doubts about Kitui for a long time, if it actually was the city. Oh, there it says Majengo. I don't know why it's written in lowercase. But okay, yeah. But at the end of the day, if you zoom into Kitui, there's a river that approaches up. That's probably the easiest round. South Africa. Can you imagine if I'd gone with New Zealand there? That would have honestly probably been even worse than... would it have been? No, it wouldn't have. It wouldn't have been worse than Montevideo in week 1. But it would have been pretty terrible. Okay. I think there's a Queenstown probably in every ex-colony of the UK. Actually, is there a Queenstown? I mean, there's definitely a Queenstown in Australia somewhere. And then we had Japan in rounds 3 and 5. This one down here, I mean, the dam shows up pretty quickly if you zoom in on the right area. The only thing that you could be struggling with here is if you see that sign and if you go, okay, it says Nara, so we have to be somewhere near Nara, somewhere around here, that you don't get that thought, that click in your head where you go, oh, Nara Prefecture, not Nara City. Although I guess it leads to Nara the city as well. It's just a different prefecture. And then you have to zoom in a bit to see 569, but that's not too big of a deal. You probably see the dam at sort of the same zoom level. I think it's doable without too many issues. I still don't know where that other town is. And then this one up here, it depends a bit. Where was Shimizu actually? It's here, yeah. Shikawa actually shows up earlier. The 274, if you make it to that sign, you probably will find that if you look for it quickly enough. If you go to the north, you might struggle. There might not be much useful information to the north, so that might be a bit of a 50-50. But we'll see. I'll let you know next week whether I've got my first points. I hope I will. Oh, actually, almost forgot. I need to show you the other seeds, because there were some very interesting ones. Division 5 seed, unfortunately at this point, Schmingo, for some reason, made a mistake or something with the seed, and it's currently not working. Page not found. But he'll probably fix that soon. So I could only play through the other 3. Start off with the Division 4 seed, which was interesting. We started off middle of nowhere, Thailand. If I zoom in here, near Pranburi, there's not really a dam POI that shows up, so it's a bit difficult, and I didn't really make it anywhere where I could find a road number or anything like that. I did find signs pointing me towards cities in Thailand. Finding a city in Thailand, unless it is one of the cities that the provinces are named after, not something that's easy to do. So, especially not if you have no idea which area you're in. So I had 3 cities that were all 40 kilometers away. I don't know which of these cities it was. Probably something like these, and you see how far you have to zoom in to check. And you can't do that for the entire country of Thailand in 3.5 minutes. Especially because it probably took 2 minutes to get to that sign. So in the end I guessed slightly too far north. I noticed that a lot of the cities on the sign had Buri as sort of the second part of the name. And if you look around here, Thailand is actually relatively useful for that. I've never really looked into it precisely to check whether that's true all the time. But generally, similar sounding ends to names are around similar areas. So you have Buri mostly around Bangkok. You see all of these, Buri, 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 all of these around here. and nothing really down here in any of these areas. So that kind of just made me go with that general area. And it wasn't too bad of a guess. Then we went over to C2 in Poland. Took me a bit. I walked to here. There I found a sign that told me we're on the 848. I had about 2-3 minutes left at this stage, so it was not an issue to find that. Numbers in Poland for roads, not 100% well ordered, but relatively clumped together. And yeah, I remembered while walking down here, I remembered what the towns we were in were called. There's like a town entrance sign for Nielish right at the start there. So pretty easy to pinpoint. It took me 3 minutes 20. Then round 3, we go over to Italy, near the town of Erto and Casso. I mentioned those two specifically because right around here there is a sign that mentions those two towns, as well as the SR251. Just going off of the landscape, it was very easy to just tell, okay, we're somewhere here in the far northern part of Italy, somewhere in the Alps. And then I just zoomed in and was like, SR255, am I gonna, oh, there it is. It was really, really easy to find, and then zoomed in, immediately saw Erto. And then I was really confused for a while. Like 252, I think about a minute, if not more of that, was spent pinpointing. I'd actually say more of that, because you see here, it looks like very distinguishable. What's the problem with it? Then you go into the map and you see, oh, there's a tunnel here, and not just one. It's a pretty long tunnel, and there's more tunnels as well. If you go over here, there's another tunnel. It's not on the map. That's where my main confusion came from. And the river, it's not on the map either. In the end, there is a dam here, but you have, unless you know what Diga del Vajont is, you have to zoom in until it says disused dam, and the shape of it is pretty obvious as well. But unless you realize that, it's difficult to pinpoint. Then where did we move on then? Zoom all the way out again. South Korea, always fun. There's lots of locations of South Korea in this map. Probably because it has a lot of dams, because it's very, very mountainous. This one, my next pinpointing era. There was a sign that told me that Gwangju and Naju are to the north, actually, now that I remember, on the 13. I didn't actually realize that while I was playing in the first sort of minute or 1.5. So I was kind of just looking at Gwangju, and I was looking at where the 13 comes out of Gwangju, and I started like here and walked looked all the way around here, and the 13 is this one, I think, and then it goes towards Naju, and then I realized, oh, other side, of course, and I found a sign that was like Naju National Museum or something is this way, so I thought probably might be relatively close to Naju, and there was a couple of lakes here and things that could potentially be dams. But as you can see there, it was a bit further south. And then to finish it off in round 5, 1 minute and 58 for New Zealand. Yeah, that's probably why I still had New Zealand in my mind with Queenstown. Relatively easy location. You move down here. There's a sign there that says you're in the Greater Wellington area in Kaitoke Regional Park. And there was a couple of signs along the way for Te Maurua, and yeah, you've got the Twin Lakes here, which again is relatively easy to figure out. I was actually looking here first because, well, that's where the Kaitoke Regional Park is. I assume now that it probably just encompasses this whole area, but I looked there first and then I realized, okay, there's no lakes here, so well, down there you move. For the Division 3 seed, it's all right as well. Not too bad. It was relatively easy though, as far as I remember. I'll remember right now while looking through it. Yeah, I did. I was just rushing this one. That was a bit stupid for me. I clicked down here when it was actually here, because right there I didn't quite understand what that sign was on about then. Right here there was a sign. Probably here, yeah. There was a sign saying we're along the 152 somewhere, or we've come to the 152 here, and it told me that Shushan is 2 kilometers in a direction. I think it was west, which doesn't, I mean, I don't think that's 2 kilometers. I think that's way more, but I might be wrong. I've been wrong on that before. And another town, I think it was Lenan, something like that, is 17 kilometers in the same direction. Looking at it now, I can't find it. Would have probably helped with judging distances, but if it's not there, it's not there. It also told me the free is 7.7 kilometers to the east. If you look at it, the free is down here, and as well as over there, and it sort of goes around here. There is no free to the east, not at all. So that's why I went with this bridge in the end. As I said, I just kind of didn't really bother too much with pinpointing. Slight point loss there, not my seed, not an issue. Next one, in the US, in Minnesota, and we've had, if you remember, we've had Minnesota in season 1 of the Reddit League, and I practiced all of the counties of Minnesota. So when I found a sign that told me we're near Winona, that was very helpful because I knew where Winona was. We then also found Minnesota City, and I knew we were on. When I was here, we found the junction between the US State Highway 61 or National Highway. It's the National Highway probably, and the State Highway 248 of Minnesota. Yeah, and then we're north of that somewhere. There's a POI for a dam. Then round 3, we had Bulgaria, and there's my next point. Lost the only other one in that round because there was just nothing here. Honestly, I didn't find a single town sign or anything like that. I found some Cyrillic, so I knew we were in Bulgaria because of the landscape, because it was winter coverage, relatively dry. But apart from that, no idea. Guessed somewhere alongside a long river. Chose that one. Was up there. Happens. I wouldn't be surprised if not a lot of people find that. And in round 4, 1 minute 48, another pretty good round, because I immediately semaphore. Like, I usually have pretty big difficulties sometimes telling apart the US or Canada. This immediately gave me a Canada feeling. I can't exactly say why. I don't really know. And on the building that the dam was, that was located next to the dam, it said Tobique Narrows. And down here, there was a sign that we were close to the 109, and it had the shape of New Brunswick. So I looked at New Brunswick, I found the 109, I eventually found Tobique Narrows, and yeah, there we go. Very distinctive river shape at the point where the location was, where to the east it sort of goes relatively slowly up to the north, and to the west there's a sharp decline where it goes a bit to the west and then immediately straight south. So that was very distinct. And for round 5, to finish it off, another 5k in Romania. As I've said before, there's lots of dams in Romania. This one actually had me a bit confused for a second, because I think there's a sign here. I think the sign said we're on the 657, which is over here, when we're actually on the 677. I mean, after last week's round 1, I wouldn't put it past myself to misread signs, but I was pretty sure about that. Thankfully, it also said Slatvara, and there's a big river here, so where else would it be? And yeah, pinpointing pretty easy. So that was round Division 3, and then the Division 1 seed was hilarious. It was so awful. Just look at that. We started off Thailand. Literally nothing. Absolutely nothing. Yeah, I didn't really find anything, to be honest, and eventually I just went, it looks like the northwest of Thailand, and I placed a marker there. It wasn't. It was close to Bangkok. I don't know. Hopefully we'll get some videos for the Reddit League to commentate, and someone will have found it, and I'll see how. Then round 2, Thailand. Yeah. Once I moved down here, I found that we're on the 3005 on the probably regional, probably provincial road. And I actually saw that sign for that a bit earlier, but down here I saw a sign that pointed me towards Buriram, which I know from motorcycling. So I know that, is motorcycling a word? Probably. So I knew that it's like a relatively big area in Thailand, and I knew I could find it because I remembered distinctively that before I had looked at it and I was like, oh, that's where the motorbikes are racing. And yeah, from that on, just look for the 3005, and there you go. There's one big lake here. Again, if you look around Buriram, there's like a couple more down here. There you go. So that wasn't too difficult if you figure out that you're near Buriram. Then, Ukraine. Because Thailand wasn't bad enough, we need some Cyrillic as well. In the town of Sabolotya. And that was actually I was pretty happy about that. Because I didn't find it. I mean, I found we were in Sabolotya. I had no idea where that is. And that's it. I didn't find anything else. But purely landscape-wise, it looked so much like locations you'd find in sort of Lithuania. It looked much like the Baltics. So I thought we had to be very far north in the Ukraine. And, well, we were. So I got a pretty decent score there. And off we go. Not enough Cyrillic yet. Off to Russia. In Ust-Ilimsk, I wouldn't have known it had coverage. Probably, yeah, if you had asked me, does that have coverage, I might have said yes. But, knowing is a strong word. Again, I didn't find anything. Not at all. So you can guess how happy I am with that guess. I found Russian, to put it simply. And I thought, purely landscape-wise, that it kind of reminded me of the Baikal Lake area, but it definitely wasn't Yakutsk. It wasn't Ulan-Ude. I know those two cities. So I kind of just went a bit further north. I went with Bratsk because I had a few locations there before, so I knew it had coverage. It was close by. It was Ust-Ilimsk. Probably if I had zoomed into it, maybe I would have realized that's a dam. But, I was kind of at this point, that's also a dam, probably. So... And I mean, I was running out of time, I'm pretty sure. It's only a 3-minute seat in Division 1. And then to finish it off, we had something a bit easier. After 2 times Thailand and 2 times, well, Cyrillic, once Russia, once Ukraine, we were in Portugal. And I kind of just, I didn't really play too well. Didn't do too good of a job map searching for this one. Placed this up here because I found a sign, interestingly, that told me we're on the M313. At least I'm pretty sure I remember that. Now that I think about it, it might have been the M318? No, I think it was the M313. Between Villarreal and Reigua, and I couldn't find Reigua because it's called Peso da Reigua on the map, and I didn't actually look that far south, to be honest. Because the M313 doesn't extend past here, it's this short road here. And apparently we're not on the M313, we're on the N313. Sure, whatever. Another 83 points lost there. But overall, especially with how hard that seed was, I'm pretty happy with it. So yeah, now that we've gone through that, as always, don't really mention that. If you've got any questions about any of the other seeds, if you're, for example, one of the competitors in the other divisions, and my explanations right now weren't enough to tell you what you may have missed to get a good score or a perfect score in one of the rounds, just ask me in the comments. I'll reply to you. I'll tell you to the best of my abilities. And yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you'll win, and I hope to see you again next week. Bye.